Today we read about John Milton's famous poem on his blindness. John Milton's poem on his blindness is an autobiographical sonnet in which Milton meditates on his own loss of sight. For most of his life, Milton had been able to see perfectly, but his late night reading and writing, this sonnet is written in the Petrarchan rhyme schemes associated with the 14th century Italian poet Francesco Petrarchan is divided into an 8-line octave and a 6-line sestet. The octave rhymes ABBA, ABBA. The sestet rhymes CDE, CDE. The exact date of composition, the sonnet can't be ascertained since Milton became completely blind in 1652. Straightforward Brooks, it is of this opinion, he says that this sonnet was written in 20 years after his first sonnets, which was written in 1632. This sonnet was published in 1673. The substance and the critical appreciations of the poem John Milton on his blindness. Milton regards that he has lost his eyesight even before reaching the middle age. He is afraid that because of his blindness he cannot serve God by using his poetic talent. True, he is urged to make the right and the proper use of it. He fears that God may punish him for failing to serve him by using his God given gift of writing poems. When such fear trouble him, for a moment his soul is disturbed by questioning the justice of God, but at once the religious conscience quit his soul. He realizes that God doesn't care for the service of man, nor does he care for gifts are used or not. He is the kind of King of Kings, and he had thousands of angel service to God consist not only to active works but also in the patient resignation of his wild and desperations. Now we are discussing about line to line the poem of on his blindness. Line 1 to 8. Milton gets rather impatient and the thoughts of his blindness. He is blind in his middle age. Blindness prevents him from using his poetic talents by writing something great to glory God. He has a keen desire to serve God given power or he may be punished. Is an impatient smooth Milton doubts if it God would be just in demanding work from a blind man like him. Now we are telling about line 8 to 14. Milton's attitude of doubts passing off in a moment, his inner conscience rises up with its faith in God. Just as he recounts, he realized that God does not need man work by way to service to him, nor does rather man uses his gifts. He is the King of kings, and his dominion is over to universe. He has thousands of angels doing his blinding, at all times flying over land and sea. He has thousands of others who stand by the throne and sing his praise. The latter two are as God as beloved as the active angels. So, patient submissions to his will in the best service to him. The sonnet on his blindness, too, perhaps one has to be on the best and the most popular of Milton's sonnets. He was written in 1655. Milton had straightforward losing his eyesight completely. The poem is a human document, a revelation of the struggle in Milton's own souls. The poem is full of allusions to the Bible. The extreme simplicity of the language is its peculiar Cating. Two lines are wholly served, other are nearly monosequence, and it is sonnet to Petrarchan type, but there is no divisions between the octave and the sestet, which is the characterized two of Italian and Petrarchan sonnets. The monologue is simplicity fantastic, the meter not and condemn is perfect. Now we are discussing the poem in the Hindi language. यहाँ पे जॉन मिल्टन ने हमें अपनी पोएम ऑन हिज ब्लाइंडनेस के बारे में बताया गया है। यह पोएम डिवाइड की गई है दो पार्ट में, जिसको कि ऑक्टेव एंड सेस्टेट कहते हैं। इस पोएम में मिल्टन को डर है कि वह अपनी जो गॉड ने उसे गिफ्ट दिया है, उस गिफ्ट को वो यूज़ नहीं कर पाएगा फॉर हिज ब्लाइंडनेस, बिकॉज क्योंकि वह क्या हो गया है, वह अंधा हो चुका है, अपनी आईसाइट लूज़ कर चुका है। तो उसे इस बात का डर है कहीं गॉड उसे पनिश ना कर दे कि वो अपना गॉड गिफ्ट यूज़ नहीं कर पाया है, और यूज़ नहीं कर पाने की वजह से गॉड उसे पनिश करेगा। लेकिन आफ्टर अ मोमेंट उसे ये रियलाइज़ हुआ कि गॉड डजंट केयर एनी काइंड ऑफ गिफ्ट, बिकॉज नॉर्मली क्या होता है, हम जब किसी को गिफ्ट देते हैं तो हम इस चीज़ का एहसास नहीं करते हैं कि जो गिफ्ट हमने उसे दिया है वो यूज़ किया जाएगा कि नहीं किया जाएगा। एज लाइक जॉन मिल्टन भी यही सोचता है कि गॉड ने मुझे ये गिफ्ट दिया तो गॉड डजंट केयर, इवन गॉड डजंट रिमेंबर, गॉड को ये याद तक नहीं है कि उसने मुझे ये गिफ्ट दिया है। तो मुझे इस चीज़ के केयर करने की कोई रिक्वायरमेंट नहीं है कि मैं उसको यूज़ करूं या नहीं करूं, या गॉड मुझे पनिश करेगा या नहीं करेगा। Now he is relaxed. It is the whole summary of the poem on his blindness. Thank you very much.